how can we know that we're moving through life angry or from this victim perspective?
Yeah, that's a good question. I talk about there being sort of two paths that women can walk, and one is what I call the self-betrayal path, the path of self-betrayal, and then the other is the path of self-honoring. And I think that when we are walking the path of self-betrayal, what we're doing is that we're constantly feeling like we're powerless in our lives. We feel resigned to the way that life is, like there's no choice. I think underneath it, there's probably a deep sense of unworthiness that's operating in there. Like, well, this is happening to me because, I'm just worthless. And I think there can be a fair amount of even self-loathing in there that's kind of operating. And so what will show up in how we are feeling is that we will feel like everything is an obligation, like everything is a burden, everything, I have to do this. We will constantly put the people around us, ourselves as inferior to them and they as superior to us. So there's this constant of they must know more than I do, or they are better than I am, which then leads to a lot of resentment. Just because we're constantly operating in this, it's like a power struggle that we're in relationships, with life itself almost. And I think there can be a lot of shame operating in there too. I think that when we're living in that way, it's inevitable that we're going to feel angry and we're going to feel like life is happening to us. Whereas when we can make this internal, like it's just a pivot. It sounds like a pivot sounds simple, you just pivot, but it's actually a completely different orientation here. What happens is that we start to operate from a sense of value and dignity within ourselves. I'm not perfect, but I show up and I do my best with the information and the tools and the resources I have at the time. Right? Rather than everything being an obligation, it's like, what are the things that make me come alive, and what am I actually passionate about, and incorporating more of those things into our lives. Seeing where not only our value is, but where we can contribute value to the world. And not only appreciating ourselves, but appreciating oh, this is really hard. This is really asking me to stretch and grow here. Appreciating it rather than resenting it for being there.